Hello and welcome to episode 32 of the Championship Rounds podcast. No episode last week, so there's absolutely nothing worth talking about, but we are back. Dennis Berinchyk against Keyshawn Davis this Friday for the WBO lightweight title in New York. A really, really interesting fight, I think.
Yeah, I think it's really good at matchup stylistically. It's a big step up for Keyshawn, and I'm really intrigued to see how he's going to deal with someone like Dennis Berinchyk style.
Yeah, I'm pretty intrigued. Yeah, nice boxing matchup. Like, be very clean.
Berinchyk sort of... Oh, go on.
You go. I've already said some stuff.
I think he's almost gone a bit under the radar. Like, with that sort of Olympic team from Ukraine, most of them are sort of already won world titles and gone on and done all that. He's sort of just been out in Ukraine, sort of fighting for WBO rubbish belts, doing not really anything. And then he's beaten Navarrete, who, most people didn't really put that much in that win, especially like Navarrete's moving up. He's just drawn a Fonte Sao. And he's like I think he's quite an underrated fighter. I think he's quite good. I feel like he's really awkward, but he just hasn't really had the opportunities. It's been a weird career for him, I think.
He's not like super special, but he is underrated. One of the more underrated champions, actually. But I didn't realize how the size difference between him and Keyshawn. Keyshawn's a huge lightweight.
Yeah, like he is properly big, and like I don't know, Berinchyk is sort of the best way I can describe it is this Berinchy's top weight, like he's not going any higher. Whereas Keyshawn, you can see it welterweight in sort of 6 or 7 years. When he's like 31, 32, you can see him at welterweight. Definitely. Like he is like huge.
But yeah, I just think it's gonna be a nice stylistically, it's gonna be a really pretty fight. Maybe not that many landed punches. Maybe not even that many thrown punches, but it'll be like a good technical fight.
Yeah, we know how Berinchyk is going to fight, and Keyshawn's going to have to come forward. He'd rather counterpunch, but he's going to have to come forward against Berinchyk. I mean, he's not the best at cutting off the ring. Maybe he won't need it. Who knows?
Berinchyk might feel brave.
Berinchyk, he boxes, but he doesn't like move. But he probably could, and he probably should in this fight.
Has he got the legs at 36 to do it?
That's
the question. Right?
He's pretty fresh. I mean, he hasn't really had any hard fights, has he? I mean, he's old.
I think, from what I remember, wasn't the Mendy fight close? Or at least very competitive.
That fight was horrible.
Oh, yeah.
It was competitive.
Yeah, he didn't look good in that fight.
Yeah.
I mean, like, how Noakes looked against Mendy is how I expected Berinchyk to look against Mendy. And he didn't even look anywhere near as good as Noakes.
Just not nearly stopping him. like in amount of rounds, he should have like dominated the fight.
Right. Well, I mean, Berinchy's he's just been a guy who just kind of does enough. To me, he's always been a guy who does enough to get the win. Doing enough is not going to win him this fight. Even if he wins, like should have win, he's not going to win by doing just enough against Keyshawn. He's not winning a decision.
They tried to. Well, one judge tried to rob him against Navarrete. That was one of the worst cards of last year.
Yeah.
Like I gave Navarrete like 3 rounds of that fight, and like.
Yeah, I think I gave him 3 rounds too.
And the judge gave Navarrete 8 rounds. It's crazy.
But yeah, like he's a bit of an annoyance, really. If you look in the grand scheme of boxing, he's a bit of an annoyance. Like he's had 90% of his fights in a country that you can't box in anymore because there's a war. Doesn't speak English, isn't really marketable. Isn't really exciting. He's just a bit of an annoyance for the sport. Like he's gonna need to win 10 clear rounds to get a decision.
That's if he makes it. As if he makes it. He doesn't get stopped.
Yep.
Which he could.
He could very well. I not that I think it matters. Though. I think Keyshawn Davis is going to win this fight quite comfortably.
So do I.
Sort of 9-3, 8-4 type.
I think he could stop him late. I'm not sure I'm going to predict him to stop him late, but he could.
I could see it.
I probably lean like 75-25. That's going the distance.
Yep.
We could do it.
And hopefully this means that Davis gets a fight. After it, like I don't know, it's weird. Lightweight, I'm sick of them. I'm sick of the division.
Sick of the divas.
Well, he's not fighting Shakur.
Nope.
And I mean, look, a Gervonta Davis fight isn't going to happen.
Hopefully, Murataya can beat Abdulayev and then get upgraded, and then. I know you hate upgrades, but hopefully that can happen, and then you can make an in-house unification. Murataya against Davis, hopefully.
I mean, it's the only way a unification is going to happen, unless Lomachenko comes back, which he's probably not going to.
Who knows, man? Like honestly, this division, it's just annoying. It's just really, really annoying.
Just 30-year-old grown men not fighting each other.
Although, I mean, if Berinchyk wins, I mean, Shakur will definitely take that fight. Yeah, it will be straight on that.
Better than his damn title fight coming up.
Because, once he beats Schofield, it's like, yeah, let me go unify with someone he'll easily beat. And that'll be avenging Keyshawn, I guess, as well.
So corny.
I mean, even Gervonta should take that fight. He won't take the fight, but he should.
It's really weird.
We'll just keep fighting former featherweights and stuff.
It's just Gervonta. It's so annoying to me because it's just like it's the division in boxing where I'm least hopeful of anything getting done. Like, it's just so annoying.
Any weight around there, not even just that weight. All those
130 is 140, 130. It's just, oh god. It's just very annoying. Very, very annoying. But yeah, I think Keyshawn Davis wins this fight pretty comfortably.
Yeah, wide decision.
I mean, he's better than Berinchyk. I mean, this is like, I think Berinchy's just a world level. That's his ceiling.
Yeah.
But Keyshawn's got like an elite ceiling, or very close to that. Whether he gets there, different question.
He is
But
like
he has the
bottom
potential.
pound for pound list ceiling.
I think he's looked a lot better since he got that suspension for weed. And I think that sort of kicked him into gear a little bit. He's like started thinking, right, I've got to take this seriously. And like, because that Albright fight like wasn't a good performance.
That's probably one of his worst ones.
Yeah, and then he tests positive for weed, gets his suspension, gets a no contest, and then it's like, right, looks really really good against Pedraza, albeit a shots of pieces. Pedraza looks really good against Beduino, and then stops Lemos early. It's been a really really good run.
Yeah, I think that'll carry on. I think he's going to look good. Not like crazy good, because it's a tricky style.
Yeah, Berinchyk knows how to fiddle his way through as well. I think he'll know how to survive.
But he'll look as good as he can do, which will be pretty good, but not crazy.
Yeah.
And this means he's going to stop him in 2 rounds and look insane.
It's weird if he stops Berinchyk in 2 rounds. There's an argument that he's the best lightweight in the world because nobody actually fights at lightweight. Like that's arguably as impressive as anything Tank's done at lightweight and Shakur.
Yeah, what's he? I mean, like he killed Frank Martin.
Who's awful. I give like little credit to that because Frank Martin's terrible.
Well, I mean, I don't mind Frank Martin. He was just kind of
regular.
Like, I mean, like he's good, but like,
I just want to see it.
His best win was Rivera, who also was just kind of a prospect at the time, like Frank Martin. Well, see, I mean, he beat Cruz, which Cruz is Cruz.
Cruz could have losses to Cabrera and Fierro right now. So yeah.
Oh yeah, he took 12 rounds to stop Gamboa. Oh, that was bad.
It's funny because Frank Martin's like one of the only one of his lightweight fights that didn't have like any stipulation to him or a bad asterisk to him. Frank Martin is just like a regular, semi-good contender. Everybody else is just not deserving, or there's some stipulation attached to it. So.
I mean, Frank Martin, like he's like skilled. I mean, he can box, but so are lots of fighters.
You just knew how that was going to.
Couldn't box Haratunian though.
That's fine. What can you do?
I was at that fight. He just didn't win
that. It's just a really annoying division. There's 3 really good fighters in it, and 2 of them won't fight each other, and then the other one won't fight either of the other 2. So, like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, with Shakur, he just like came to 135, and it seems like he hasn't done that much because he got injured, so it took like a lot of time off. But his 3 fights aren't special either.
I thought he looked really good against Yoshino, but like, that's about it. Yeah.
I mean, like, he looked fine against Haratunian, but it was a bad look.
It was just embarrassing. I was just like, he beat him, clearly. Like, he didn't really struggle with him. It's just like, he was trying to punch holes through him, trying to prove something, and he just couldn't finish him.
Like, yeah, I mean, he was much more offensive against Haratunian.
And they got exhausted trying to punch craters through him.
Well, he tried his best.
Yeah, failed miserably.
Well, I mean, look, have you seen his hands? I mean, they're pretty
I know those hands look
a
like
mess.
put them in a blender.
It's just
Yeah.
tiring. The whole division's tiring. But yeah.
Hopefully Keyshawn brings some life to it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a typical top ranked prospect way to a title, to be honest.
You know what it'll be with Top Rank though? I'll tell you what they'll do. He'll have a few defenses against like randoms, then he'll move up and he'll fight probably Arnold Barboza for a belt at 140, and then they'll give the WBO to Abdullah Mason.
Yeah,
That's what will happen.
It's what they do. I mean,
Like-
look, they'll either fight a weak champion for a WBO, well, not a weak champion, but the weakest for a WBO belt, or they'll fight for a vacant WBO belt. Then they'll make like 5 title defenses, move up, and either fight for the vacant belt above, or if they're a super champion, use that super status to fight the WBO champion at the weight above.
Yeah, and then they'll move one of their new guys into the weight below, and then repeat the process. That's just the Top Rank way, and it's really, really boring. There's no imaginative matchmaking there, and it's really, really boring. They have really, really good fighters, but it's just so boring.
Yeah, and what's worse is when they actually do put on a good fight, 95% of the time they are good. They're always good.
It's so frustrating to watch.
No wonder ESPN don't want to renew their deal with them.
Yeah, it's not surprising. We've said this before, but most Top Rank cards, like we'll get into this undercard, but it's a prospect show. It's a prospect show of a semi-interesting main event.
I mean, every week when I do top rank cards for the schedule, it's an okay main event, maybe an okay co-main event, and then it's just a bunch of prospects against some random Hispanic fighter.
Yeah. Let's talk about this on the card. Xander Zayas, Slava Spoma. I mean, Spoma's a decent European level fighter. I've seen him a couple of times, but Xander Zayas he's been treading water for a couple of years. Like Valenzuela, Fortea, Teixeira, Sosa, Spoma. Like, there's no progression there.
It's the same level.
Like, he's just treading water. And he's got all these rankings, Zayas, and he's just not doing anything with them. It's just like, I think they're just waiting for a WBO to go vacant for him to get one.
Yep, that's what they're doing.
It might happen soon too.
Might do.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
it probably will. Yeah. Well, at least he's like staying at this level of competition rather than going down. If he's not going up, at the very least, he's continuing to fight this level.
And he's not really struggling either. It's just like boring.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind this opponent. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's not
seems
great.
Like he's fighting the same. It's as if he's fighting the same fighter over and over again. So.
And he'll win a YDD because I don't think he can punch properly at world level. Because he battered Damian Sosa, like absolutely battered him, and couldn't really hurt him that many times. If it's all really. Like, I just don't think he can punch. But anyway. Only 22, so there's growth there, hopefully. Jared Anderson's coming back against a random Greek.
It's just not a good opponent.
Well,
Jared
that's
Anderson
fine.
will step in.
I mean,
Jared Anderson's not that good. He's going to be sort of a fringe contender, I think, at heavyweight. I don't really rate him that highly. Rohan Polanco's fighting John Carlos Torres, who is a year inactive. Seems like just another prospect to knock over someone. Abdullah Mason fighting Manuel Jaimes. Jaimes lost to Rolly, so if Abdullah Mason doesn't stop him early, then there's serious fights. I mean, you know what I mean, though. You know,
Getting outboxed by Rolly is crazy.
yeah.
Like if he got chinned by Rolly, that would have been acceptable because Rolly can actually punch hard as hell. But the fact that you just got like he boxed the whole fight, Rolly.
I mean, look, this matchmaking tells you everything that they think about Abdullah Mason.
Yeah, they seen him get dropped.
They
twice,
they have pumped the brakes. Like he's still like good.
They said skirt.
But they pump the brakes. Let's calm down a bit. I mean, he's still young.
He's still a teenager, I think.
Yeah.
He's like 19.
I think he just turned 20. But yeah.
Might be 20, yeah. 20. Like, he's good, but it's like, I don't know. There's a definite sort of red flag there. I just hope he stays active this year. Like, you need activity at that age.
At least like 3 or 4 fights this
I mean, I think he's good. I think he will live maybe not up to his potential because that's like some crazy elite, but I think he'll be a pound fighter. You know, anyone can get dropped twice, especially at his age. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, it's not like he went the distance or something.
Yeah, I mean, he stopped him.
Beat him the next.
Well, I mean, he dropped him in the same round and then stopped him. Look, it's fine.
And then, the only fight on this undercard that I actually like is Vito Milnicki against Conor Coyle.
Oh, no, I thought you would have loved Nico Ali Walsh, man.
Oh, God. Nico Ali Walsh, genuinely, the most I've heard or watched Nico Ali Walsh recently is on commentary, and he is the most frustrating commentator.
He's all right.
I mean, he's not that bad.
No. When he's sort of on the Japanese cards, they're going on about the scoring, yeah? And he has no idea that the Japanese title fights do open scoring. So he sat there on commentary saying, well, we don't know what the judges are saying. You never know how the judges are scoring it. Literally, just so they told you the open scoring, and it's the most annoying thing.
He does commentate like he has he does commentate like he has a script in front of him. To be honest,
he is so annoying. He's so annoying, man.
Yeah, I mean, well, outside of that, I mean, he's not bad. He's a better commentator than his fighter.
Yeah,
which isn't very hard, but
back to Milnicki Coyle. It is a good fight.
That's such a random fight.
It is very random.
Coyle's based in New York, though, isn't he? So
I love how Coyle is like 34 and his nickname's the Kid.
Well, he was a kid at one point.
Yeah, about half his life ago. Yeah.
He's fallen victim to. I think he's one of the guys that's fallen victim to the whole thing in Ireland recently. Like the boxing scene sort of totally dying out for certain reasons in Ireland. Like he's one of these guys that that's had to go out to America and fight in Mexico and stuff, and it's just like you can't really build a career like that. Like he fought in the UK. He fought in that boxer undercard randomly. That Callum Simpson undercard for like no apparent reason, and then like his last fight in Europe was in 2017. Like you can't build a career like that. But yeah, he's a decent little fighter. Like he's okay. Same with Milnicki, really. I think he's okay. I don't think he's that good.
That's why it's a good matchup.
Yeah, like they're it's evenly matched. They're not brilliant either. But I don't know. I think Milnicki should just have enough to nick it. He's a lot younger, a lot fresher. I think, but yeah. I don't particularly rate either. I
think Milnicki's better than Conor Coyle. Just from what I've seen. I mean, Conoco hasn't really fought anyone good.
Milnicki fought Laszlo Toff, which is funny because I saw Laszlo Toff. I was ringside and he got stopped by Jack McGann at York Hall on a Mark Nielsen show. And like it was the most random thing. I saw that fight announcement last year, and it was like, oh, I swear I like recognize that name. Check his box record. It's like, yeah, he got stopped by Jack McGann at York Hall, and I was like, oh, brilliant! I was there for that.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, Milnicki's not that good, but it's middleweight, man. So like a couple of wins, and you know you could be fighting Janibek. And that's just
look,
like what middleweight is.
2 good wins and Ring will stick you in the top 10 rankings. That's how bad the division is.
Yeah, and there's like literally nothing else in this card. Literally just a load of prospects. Like it's annoying. Like
every top rank show ever.
It's a top rank show. Yeah, like
the Tiger Johnson, Polanco's, Zayas, just the same.
Polanco's quite good, but Tiger Johnson is terrible, man. I really don't rate him. It's not that good. It's not that good a show. It's a good fight, but it's not that good a show. Saturday night. We'll start stateside, I think. What was meant to be Regis Prograis against Oscar Duarte, Prograis pulled out, and now you get Miguel Medueno against Oscar Duarte in a good. This will be a very good fight, I think. This will be like one of those Golden Boy fights. It's really, really fun.
Oh yeah,
they have the odd one that's like just a war that you like goes a bit under the radar.
Again, with this, it's like the Golden Boy shows are kind of like the top rank shows. They just kind of have a bunch of contenders fighting. Just like what's his name? Like Darius Fulgham and Yoel Iriarte, just the same prospects over and over again. But there's a couple good fights on this card.
Ricardo Sandoval's fighting somebody I've never heard of. Actually, did I watch that fight? No, I've never heard of this Sandoval opponent.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, yeah, it's just loads of prospects. Like,
And then Kenneth Sims not stepping up again.
Fighting Kendo Castaneda, who lost it. Like, he's just a career loser. Like,
I don't get why Kenneth Sims is not fighting like world level after the Aquadal fight. I know he was just like injured, but like you gotta fight.
he's 31. He's 30. Like, he's what you do with your career. You're 31 years old.
He has like really like good wins on his resume, and he's just not doing anything with them. He's got Elvis, he's got Myrtle, he's got Akhmadov. Beating Kendo Castaneda in 2025 is what are we doing?
Yeah, Elvis Rodriguez just beat him.
Yeah, I don't.
Like if that doesn't show you like what's going on, like yeah, Rodriguez just beat him, and he beat Rodriguez years ago. So something's gone wrong. You know what I mean? Like something's gone very wrong. If you're at that stage where you're beating, where you're fighting,
if anything, he should be fighting Duarte.
He should be fighting Duarte, but it's like they want to protect Duarte because Duarte is not that brilliant, and like he's a very fun fighter. He's got the marketability from fighting Garcia, and like they want to protect their asset.
Like Medueno Castaneda would make more sense than what the hell that is.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating.
But, I mean, in his defense, I mean, it's a replacement.
I don't care.
And Kenneth Sims, I think his one is just like a comeback from injury.
He had a comeback last year.
No,
though.
I think his comeback from injury was the last fight. Was the Guzman fight? I mean Romero.
This is better than not being active, I guess. But that's not good, really.
It's not at all.
It's basically for saying, yeah, 5 better opponents.
I do think the main event will be a good fight. I think
Oh, yeah.
because Medueno's style, like he just comes forward and throws loads, like
Which is exactly what
that'd be a good
Duarte does.
I mean, he's never been in a stop, so it'll be impressive if Duarte stops him.
I don't know how the hell Claggett didn't stop him though. To be honest, Claggett just beat the hell out of him.
Maybe Duarte is gonna beat the hell out of him. I mean, he probably will. I mean, he will.
Yeah, I'm picking Duarte.
Yeah, Duarte will win, I think. But
He might stop him. He might stop him. Duarte punches really hard.
I don't know.
He's also pretty vulnerable though. Well, they both are. But. This thing, Medueno's shown a better chin.
Yeah, I think Duarte probably by decision. I don't know.
I'm thinking about decision.
Probably. And then like we said, there's nothing on that undercard of any note really. Like just a load of people fighting people that they should beat, and it's just like what we doing? What's the point? You know what I mean? Like, what is the point? But anyway, Saturday in Manchester, Jack Catterall fights Arnold Barboza for the WBO interim super lightweight title.
Oh man, this is gonna be a war, isn't it?
God help us get through this one, because Jesus Christ,
it's gonna be a slugfest. Jesus Christ!
Look, man, look, I just
Catterall's gonna win every round.
I don't even know if he will, because I think Catterall's gone a bit stale. I don't think he's.
No, but he's so stale that he's like good, like he's like good, boring, good, regular.
The style that gives boxers trouble a lot is boxers, and they're both boxers.
And Barboza's a worse one.
So nothing's gonna happen. Look, this is gonna be
thrown per round.
They're both just gonna be weighing, and the other one's just gonna be waiting for someone to lead. He doesn't want to lead, and then he doesn't want to lead, and then it might throw a jab here and there. Carroll eventually open up with a left hand or two, like he does. Look, on paper, it's a good fight on paper. It's just not going to be good in the ring. It's a fight that makes sense. Then winner fights for a title.
It does not make sense for my mental health.
Well, no one's forcing you to watch it.
Catterall's going to win this fight because Barboza can't get out of the way of sort of looping left hands from southpaw positions. We saw that with Sean McComb.
Yes.
And that's why Catterall's going to win the fight effectively. Like, I don't know, man. I just think...
Yeah, Barboza is not good against southpaws.
Or orthodox fighters, because he's just not good, period.
I mean, he's effective against people with certain styles.
You know, he could have been... This could have just not been a thing, you know. Had the judges done their job against Tyrone McKenna and O'Hara Davis, we just wouldn't have... This wouldn't have happened. You wouldn't have this fight. Had the judges done their job against Sean McComb, like... But Barboza Catterall wouldn't be a thing. Oh my god, Jack
I
Catterall.
mean, like, I don't mind the fight. It's just not going to be
It's
good.
just horrible. Like,
Like,
it just sums up 140. Like, it's a division. It's full of very, very average, boring fighters.
That's it. It's a division.
They're
It
just boring.
exists.
Like, they're average. There's nothing really like great about it. Like, they're just, oh, it's okay, whatever.
well, maybe like the problem is that like the best ones in the division are boxers. You got Hitchens, you got Carroll. Who else am I thinking of? Devin Haney, who is probably going to be a welterweight now.
He's moved
Anyway.
up to welterweight, I think, yeah.
And like Tifimo, I guess, he can only fight well against certain styles.
You know
Sticking with a
what I really
Catterall.
worry about with Catterall? I think
Him,
he's regressing. I really think he's regressing.
I don't think he was progressing. He's just not
I mean,
just whatever.
he looked good against in the rematch against Josh Taylor. He actually opened up and threw punches.
Yeah, but that fight could have
I
been a
mean,
draw.
he had no choice to do that.
That fight was more. That was very close. That fight.
I was
I
like
thought.
that in rounds. That fight was closer than the first one.
Yeah,
I thought Carroll clearly won the fight.
I thought he
No, I
won
thought
it.
he
But
did.
it could have been a draw easily.
I mean, Josh Taylor kind of got beat up, but what can you do? He's washed.
And then like the Prograis fight, he looked awful
Yeah.
against a totally shots to pieces Prograis. I'm not having any other way. Prograis done.
He was losing until those knockdowns completely changed the fight.
Yeah.
That's not good.
They probably seemed to be like injured in the last like quarter or two.
And then he couldn't take out Prograis in a fight that he could have been losing. He couldn't take him out.
He has zero killer instinct.
Losing consecutive rounds to Jorge Linares in 2023 at 140 pounds.
That fight was horrible too.
Like, it's just not being able to stop Dara Foley. Like, what? Or not like, if you compare what Pierce O'Leary was doing, Pierce O'Leary beat him up. Catterall just sort of fumbled his way to a decision. And, like, he dropped him twice, but that, it just wasn't good. It wasn't a good performance. Like, it's just so frustrating to watch.
Look, I'm telling you, if you're going to beat Jack Carroll, you're going to outbox him. That's how you do it.
O'Hara Davis did, and he got robbed.
Yeah, that's how you're going to beat Jack Carroll. Well, that's his bread and butter, but he isn't very good against boxers.
I remember years ago the Tyrone McKenna fight, man. And he only won that fight on knockdowns. That was a very, very close fight. It was on a Mick Conlan undercard in Belfast, and he only won it on knockdowns. He was getting outboxed for a lot of that fight.
Yeah, I mean, you can outbox him. He just looks good against people he can outbox.
It's just, he's so average.
Because he just slows the fight down to a snail pace and just fights his fight. But luckily for him, Arnold Barboza is terrible against southpaws.
I just think he's terrible in general, Barboza. He, like...
I mean, like, he's, like, okay. Like, he's good at what he does, but he's not, like, that good of a fighter. But he's good at what he does, I guess.
You know what's crazy about him as well? He has never fought in a 12-rounder.
Well, I'm going to say see if he can go 12 rounders. But this is not going to be a fight to test that.
He had 14 straight 10-rounders.
Brilliant. The Ramirez fight should have been 12 rounds. I don't know why that was 12 rounds. I think I moaned about that not being 12 rounds.
Refused to sanction him. He told the WPO to piss off, basically, because they weren't giving him a title shot. So he refused to sanction it for a 12-round eliminator.
Is he still with Top Rank?
Barboza?
Yeah.
No, he's a Golden Boy.
Well, that's probably why.
He's been with Golden Boy. His last fight with Top Rank was the Pedraza fight, I believe. And that was years ago now. That was like over 2 years ago. That was a close fight as well. That was the last good Pedraza we've seen. Well, not good Pedraza, but last sort of serviceable Pedraza. And then Pedraza's been stopped twice since by Keyshawn and Mikado. But yeah, like, I don't know, Catterall's going to win a very, very boring fight, isn't he? Like every other Jack Catterall fight.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just like, yeah. And it just sums up 140. It's just not very nice. Like, it's nobody's gonna be sitting there and thinking, "Oh yeah, I get to watch Jack Catterall this week," and like, yeah, it's just anyway. Reese Bellotti, Michael Gomez is on this undercard. Enough. Michael Gomez is another one of these nepotism guys in boxing that's only there because of his dad.
That doesn't matter. He can fight. That's fine.
He lost to Levi Giles pretty clearly, I thought.
That's fine. He can fight. I mean, look, he's just a good, serviceable guy at his level.
I think he'll get battered by Reese Bellotti.
He will, but he'll give it a go.
Will he? Or would he pull out in the change room again? Like,
Well, if he makes it to the fight, he'll give it a go.
yeah. I think Bellotti will batter him. Zelfa Barrett against Jazza Dickens. Jazza Dickens is shot to pieces. Let's get that straight.
What
The
year
Sosa-
are we in?
Yeah. The Sosa knockout, like, he's looked terrible in the sort of 6 and 4 rounders. I think he's come back in. I watched one of them and he just looks, like, they're winning it clearly, but like you can just tell there's nothing there anymore.
Look, if you don't want to tune in for this fight, I'll tell you how it's going to happen. Zelva's going to walk Jazza Dickens into a left hook and knock him out. You're welcome.
Well, you know the thing with Zelfa Barrett, yeah.
He's inconsistent as hell.
There's just this thing, like, there's so much more there. You just get the feeling watching him, like, just do something more. There's just something missing every time with him. And like, I don't know,
Yeah.
like,
I mean, there is gears he can go up.
but it's getting to the point now, like, he's in his 30s. Can he go through the gears, or is that just him?
Like, I don't know if he can do it because, look, if you have Rakimov how he had him and he couldn't go through the gears, then I don't think he's ever going to go through the gears.
She should have jumped on Rakimov when he had the chance.
Yeah, like, he has, like, one punch power in his left hook, which is why he gets lots of knockouts. But to actually stop people, I mean, people who are tough and with good chin, he probably won't be able to go through the gears.
Yeah, he has like 3 knockouts this decade.
Yeah, and that is not Jazza Dickens, so he's going to get stopped.
Yeah, Jazza Dickens is going to get knocked out. I still remember him. I'm still sort of annoyed about him robbing Kigo Martinez, Like, Zelfa Barrett's just like one of these guys, just skilled, but he's just not. There's something missing. There's something there, but there's a lot missing. And yeah, Yaz's done. Yeah, he's done. Pat McCormick against Robbie Davis. Robbie Davis is done. Should have lost his last 3 fights. Probably should have lost his last 4, actually. So that Molina fight. What card was that one? I remember that. That was on. Yeah, the Buatsi Richards cards. I thought he lost that fight, and I thought he lost to Fortuna.
Yeah, no, he definitely lost to Fortuna. I mean,
That's not a question.
I mean, it's an interesting fight. I mean, this is a step up for Pat McCormick. But Robbie Davis Jr. is very washed.
See,
But-
Pat
I
McCormack,
think I'll stop.
But does he still have enough in him to give him a test? I mean, maybe. There's been fighters that we think are washed. They jump in with like prospects, and they test them.
Pat McCormack is. He's just another guy. Like he's 29. He's 29. He's 30 this year. He's 30 in the summer. He's nearly 30, and like, what's he done? You know, he's had 6 fights in. This is his 3rd year as a pro now. Like, he's having 2 fights a year, and he's meant to be some elite prospect, elite amateur, and all this. And like, you're just like,
he's good, but well, against who he's fighting.
But like, he's fighting the Tony Dixons of this world, and like,
yeah,
I don't think he can punch like that. I just don't. It's just a weird one. Like, is he? Are they scared to match him tough, or is he just not very good? Like, what's stopping you from fighting?
I don't know. Maybe his body is fragile.
Maybe, but like, I don't know. It's just annoying. Like, when they're built up to be this great thing and they're just nothing. Like, yeah.
I guess we'll find something out. Not a lot, but we'll find something out. I guess it's a big step up for him.
It's a big step up, yeah. But
I don't think he's going to have it all his own way. I don't. Like, he might get tested early on.
well, like, even in the Lipinets fight, like, Davis showed something.
Yeah, I mean, I think he still has something left. I mean, I'm not going to judge him against Fortuna, because Fortuna's style is really hard to look good against. And maybe he does have some stuff left. Yeah, a little bit left against Lipinets.
Yeah.
But Lipinets is also pre-washed himself.
Yep. And then there's Connor Tudsbury making his debut, who's a okay amateur. Akib Fears is back from his betting scandal. And then Alfie Middlemiss, whoever that is, and William Crawler, who again, not very good. Yeah, it's just your standard British card, really, isn't it?
You love them.
Like, there's just not too much to get excited about. It's full of okay stuff. Like, it's just okay, you know. Like, it's not brilliant. It's not horrible to the extreme. But like, yeah, it's just what we're used to getting now in Britain.
Yeah, and the problem is the only good fight on the card is going to be terrible.
Yep. Yeah. Pretty much.
But it doesn't matter how good a fight is on paper. If you know it's going to be terrible, no one's going to care or be excited. Yeah, I can't wait to watch Jack Catterall and Arnold Barboza doing nothing for 12 rounds this weekend.
It's really, really not good. Like, I don't. It's just British boxing, man. It's British boxing. Like, even American boxing. We just talked about 3 cards, and like, you could put them all together, and you might have one okay card. You know. But anyway, it's just is what it is. The news. Joe Joyce is fighting Dillian White.
It's disgusting.
So yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. React Paul Ricoli on that undercard. I think it's okay.
I mean, that's a lot better. That's a good fight, even though Cody is fat now.
Yeah, but
But
I think that's not doing good, you know.
maybe not 260.
No, a big sloppy 260 pounds of Coley is gonna be fun. Because like he won't be able to hold because he won't be able to get near you because he'll be too slow.
I mean,
So I think it's gonna be
he still held, even though it didn't go too long. He still held a bit.
fun. Oh, Coley. You got to love Big Lawrence, and yeah.
But Reactful moving up to heavyweight is good. He shouldn't be a cruiserweight. Although he better not. If he loses, he better not move back down.
He should just stay at, like, there's so many fights at heavyweight. Like, react for big strong.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe he should have gone a Coley route of becoming a bridgerweight champion and then moved to heavyweight.
He should have gone the Cody route and signed with Queensbury, but
won a world title. Oh, he did go the Cody route. I mean, like Cody lost to Chris Smith. So did Reactful.
Yep. But at least the Cody threw a punch against Ben and Smith.
True.
Like Reactful did. But yeah, that's thinking about it. That's like probably the best option for both. Like, and like the winner can go on to some maybe fight the winner of the main event. I guess.
I mean, I like the fight.
Yeah, it's good.
Just a Cody, 260 pounds. Oh, it's so funny. He looks so funny. Although, I mean, I guess, look, Reactful did beat Crispin Smith. I did forget about it.
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either, but
yeah,
technically he did, officially.
Yeah, and that also wasn't a knockdown. By the way, that's a whole other conversation.
Bob Williams.
That was like 2018, 2019, wasn't it? That feels like so much longer. Like,
yeah, because he just stopped Tommy McCarthy. That wasn't a bad run, actually. When he stopped Tommy McCarthy, beat Crispin Smith, then he beat Jack Jackson.
Didn't he? Yeah. That was that. Talking about the sort of late 2010s British cruiserweights. Didn't he beat Jack Arnfield as well? Or am I thinking of someone else?
I think I'm thinking of someone else.
Who else did he beat? He beat someone else, I'm pretty sure.
He beat a few people. He beat Glowacki.
Not Jack Arnfield. Sam Hyde, that's it. That's what I was thinking of, Sam Hyde.
He did beat Sam Hyde.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a weird run. But anyway, also David Adelaide is going to knock out Jamie TKV on that card as well. So.
Yeah, badly.
Delicious Ori, who's not very good, is turning pro. A bit of a random one. Josh Taylor against Echo Esserman.
I mean, look, that is right. I mean, I don't mind it. Look, Taylor's washed. I like Esserman. He can get a big fight.
Esserman's fun. He's not good. He's very fun.
Look, Josh Taylor's washed. I wouldn't be surprised if Esserman wins this fight.
And this would be at welterweight then.
Yep.
Yeah, it is welterweight.
He's finally not going to kill himself. So.
Yeah. He might look good at welterweight, you know.
Maybe he'll look a little better, but
maybe he's not washed. Maybe he's not washed. Maybe he's just drained.
Yeah, maybe.
He's pushing 40, but
Esserman's like much older. Esserman's like 37.
Black don't crack, so I thought he was,
Look, he's been in some.
No, but he has had like 3.
He could crack against Owen Cooper.
He's been in some.
Fucking hell, he can crack against Owen Cooper. Jesus. But yeah, Esserman's intense, big, strong, sets a good pace. Like,
yeah, they don't call him the engine for nothing.
If you are washed, that's a bad style, but I don't know. And then Nathaniel Collins against Lee McGregor on the undercard.
Kirk, that's a good fight.
A good fight. Good fight.
Shout out to Nathaniel Collins. What's he been up to? lately.
He's fighting Friday. He's fighting an 8-rounder on Friday on a Sam Kinnick show in Glasgow, which I might go to if I can be bothered to drive there. So yeah,
he's fighting the great veteran TBA.
oh yeah, great. Well, that I know who's fighting. That's not been updated, so yeah.
I was gonna say, what a fighter he is, man. TBA.
TBA is the most active fighter in boxing.
Hall of Famer.
Anthony Kakashi against Lee Wood. We sort of knew this was coming.
Well, let's talk because we spoke about this already last episode. Yeah,
we have that got announced.
But we didn't. It didn't get announced then. But yeah, this is officially happening.
Yeah, boring.
We will be there. We will be there.
Did we talk about Canelo against William Skull?
No.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about it now either. So anyway, but yeah, it's just boring. It's a boring fight.
Get him out of my sport.
His Skull's terrible. Canelo's gonna beat him easily. Might even stop him.
Oh, I don't. I'm not picking Canelo to stop anyone. After he went the distance with Belanga, I'm not picking him to stop anyone.
I'm so tired of him. I thought I was tired of Gervonta, and I'm so tired. I'm the most tired of him. He needs to just retire.
Well, I mean, and Skull, he can move and survive. Canelo's never had the best feet,
especially now.
And on the undercard of that, Munguia against Sriracha 2. In South, like Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, it's an iconic date in boxing, yeah. So why the hell are we shipping off the two biggest Mexican stars in the sport to fight in Riyadh in front of 300 people? What are we doing?
Because Inoue has come in and taken that date.
Money.
Yeah. So Inoue is going to fight Picasso on that date. The unknown Japanese kid that fights at 4 in the morning. Yeah, brilliant. That's not what I think, obviously, but that's the general consensus with like a lot of boxing people. Oh yeah, the unknown Japanese kid that fights at 4 in the morning. We don't watch him, and he's a midget. Yeah, like what? Have people suddenly just forgotten how to promote boxing? Is this what's going on here?
It's
money.
It's run by a load of idiots, of course. They forgot.
Now we're talking about fights in prison. What's happening? What's going on? Teofimo Lopez fighting in prison, probably where he belongs. Like, Jesus, what's happening?
Look,
you've got to get a ferry there. We're going to ferry across a boxing ring into Alcatraz.
Look, he's had a few. He's committed a few robberies in his time. He might deserve to be there.
Jesus Christ, what's going on?
I'm crying.
That's such a typical. I'm telling you, that's such a typical Teofimo thing to do. Yeah, let me go fight Alcatraz. What's wrong with this guy? They need a mental Alcatraz facility. That's where he belongs.
So, just leave him there. Just leave him all there. Sebastian Fondora against Booker. What's the point?
Yeah, that's not good. Maybe Sebastian Fondora gets chinned again.
If he gets chinned by Booker, like we got like.
This would be a very Sebastian Fondora thing to do. He can beat the good fighters and then just get chinned by the.
If he gets chinned by Shordale Booker, we need to put him in the conversation with the worst unified champions.
If he gets chinned by Booker, we've got to start having a conversation about Nikita being the better brother. That's what you got to do, because Nikita might be better than Tim.
I don't know. Nikita goes life and death with bad fighters and gets hurt.
Something Tim does often now.
Yeah, but imagine what Marzali would do to Nikita.
Loser, you do.
Yeah. And then the kid wakes up in hospital and he's actually got KO'd in 30 seconds.
Yep. Jesus Ramos against Salgado. This ain't anything personal against Jesus Ramos here, yeah.
Maybe it is
It
because,
genuinely isn't. But
well,
why the hell are PBC giving him the dates? Like,
but-
everyone's inactive. Like, they're getting their guys out once a year, but he's getting a second fight in 6 weeks.
look, maybe you worship him, calling him Jesus.
Thanks, Jesus. It's Jesus Ramos.
It's Jesus. Jesus.
Who cares, man? It's Jesus. Jesus Ramos. That's his name.
You love the Elijah Garcia versus Terrell Gaucher in 2025 too, huh?
Elijah Garcia, man.
He was supposed to be special. Vince McMahon gif of Elijah Garcia like 2 years ago. He fell off a cliff.
I still think he can be a good fighter, but like, man, just learn how to defend the jab. You know what I mean? You just
Well, that's
You're
impossible.
asking 2025 boxers to defend jabs?
No one knows how to defend the jab. Look, he's coming off a loss. I'm not surprised by this opponent.
I mean, if it's good enough for Adames, like, you know what I mean? If it's good enough for Adames, it's good enough for him. To be honest, like, is what it is.
Look, middleweight's not very good. What can you do?
It's not a brilliant shot.
Abolish the whole division.
And then one last bit. Luis Alberto Lopez is apparently coming back on March 29th in Mexico.
I don't like when we do this. I feel like even if any type of brain injury, even if it's very little, I feel like you should be able to fight it.
Yeah, he should retire, I think. Like that was
it's
bad.
not like he had a war and then made it to the end and then they found whatever. He got knocked flat out in the worst way and had a brain bleed. You should not be fighting anymore.
Well, I hope the reason he's fighting in Mexico is because no U.S. commission would have sanctioned the fight.
Yeah. Hopefully.
You know, like him and like recently like Rakhimov, they don't need to fight anymore. It's over. You gotta know when to pack it in. And it shouldn't take like actual brain damage to show up for them to even start considering it.
Boxers knowing when to pack it in.
Especially
they want to die.
Well, we didn't talk about it, but like what happened last Saturday, like Derek Chisora should have been done about 10 years ago.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to.
And this the thing.
To seeing him in the future.
And Joe Joyce as well. He should be finished.
Yeah, it's not gonna. It's gonna be sad.
All these guys claiming to love all these boxers and stuff, but then promoting all their fights and paying money to go see it and promoting everything about it. And like when they're clearly done, they're done. Derek Chisora should never be in a ring ever again.
I mean,
he won.
You can see he looks terrible. Like he did stuff.
He dominated.
Yeah, he did stuff and looked terrible. Volin just didn't do anything.
He dominated Oso Wadin, and then Chisora could barely walk out the ring. He could barely get in the ring.
You see his face? I mean, Volin didn't even throw anything, and his face was a mess.
Joe Joyce,
Yeah, you dropped him a couple times. Fair enough, but you look terrible. He looked like he was fighting under war, although he's always looked like he's fighting under war.
But it's significantly worse. He's 40, and by round 3, he is. Jesus Christ, it's bad. It just looks bad before when he's just talking, in the ring when he's fighting, and out the ring when he's
Look,
like wanting to have another fight.
I need to know how much they paid Otto Bollin to sit that fight out and not do anything. He had a couple rounds where he actually fought well, and it looked like he could easily win the fight.
I swear to God, if they put him in with Dubois, man.
That would be so shameful.
Look, they will. Well, they might. They would think about it. These people just don't care, really, about the health of fighters. It's all about money.
I don't know if I'd be able to watch him fight Dubois.
He shouldn't be fighting again. Neither should Joe Joyce. Neither should any of these guys. Like Lopez shouldn't be fighting.
He was like, "Oh yeah, this is my last UK fight," and now he's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna fight in London."
You know what it is. He's gonna have another 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, you will.
As soon as he can, as long as he can get licensed, yeah, people will buy tickets to go watch him.
Yeah, people will pay him a lot of money. What's the point? Why would he retire when he's gonna keep getting paid millions to fight?
Like for any fight.
And they'll pay him to fight in the UK or in Saudi.
I mean, look at that heavyweight show. Whatever that Joyce show, yeah. So there's 7 fighters announced for that card. Joe Joyce, Dillian White, Richard Riakporhe, Lawrence Okoli, Jamie TKV, David Adelaide, and Delicious Aura. You know, Chisora could fight every single one of those in a headliner.
Yeah.
And he could probably clear about 5 or 6 million quid by doing it.
Yep.
And that's the problem. That's the issue. Nobody cares about it.
And then when he's finished, his brain will be dribbling out of his ear.
And
they'll care about him when he can't talk for himself.
They'd have moved on to the next Derek Chisora.
No, but these are the same people sticking him in. They'll be the people asking, setting up GoFundMe, asking for money for Derek Chisora in 10 years' time.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous, man. But yeah, he should not be fighting. Luis Alberto Lopez should not be fighting.
Rakhimov should not be fighting.
Rakhimov should not be fighting as well. It seems like he's doing okay. From what Sampson was saying.
I hope so, because he the Texas Commission. Like, why did he have to get out the ring himself? Why did it take so long for him to get out the ring himself?
Yeah, it's not good. It's really not good.
Just like the fighter safety. Like it's like a constant talking point. It's boxing, so it's not gonna. We're not pillow fighting over here, but before and after, you have to make sure that they're fine to do what they're about to do to each other.
Yeah. It's sad, but it's just.
Like recently, John what was his name? Cooney.
Yeah, died.
Like it's still like every other couple months, someone's still passing away.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's not just because of injuries sustained in that singular fight. It's like existing damage, too much sparring, like just too much damage over time. And what's the show for? A couple rest in peace post, and then that's it. No progression.
It's bad. It's really bad. But yeah, we've ended that on a quite sour note. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy what there is this weekend. There should hopefully be a couple of good fights, but I'm not holding out too much hope. But yeah, thank you for listening. All the links are below, and yeah, thanks for listening.
See you in episode 33.